Are you considering buying a property in France, but overwhelmed by all of the information out there? Maybe wondering, how do you even know what you need to know to make your dream become a reality? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome. I've been there too. I had bought and sold properties outside of France, and I really thought I knew what I was doing. Maybe you're in the same situation. But I did not know where to look. I'm sure I missed out on potential options. My French wasn't very good, and I didn't really understand how to use the French language websites, let alone make best use of them. Maybe you find yourself in the same situation at the moment. I drove around France for 10-hour days on viewing trips, booked too many appointments, and didn't really know how anything worked. Had I known what I do now, both from that experience of buying, but also from working with and helping hundreds of people buy property in France, I know it would have improved my experience. Don't get me wrong, buying a property in France is an adventure, and it definitely should be, but I think I would have wasted less of my own time, I think I would have saved myself some money, and I definitely would have been less stressed. Now, there is a lot of information out there already. I see it. Often, it's from a real estate agent whose ultimate goal is to sell you one of their properties so they make their commission. It is not in their interest to tell you everything. There's also information out there from government websites and French notaires. They're only giving some facts. They're not able to put them into a useful context for you. And also, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of free information out there which is just out of date or just wrong. That is why French Property Focus exists, to be a resource you can rely on for everything related to buying a property in France. During this webinar, I'm going to take you through some mistakes I've seen many times over the years and draw out some key learning points for you. Maybe you're just at an early stage of thinking about a purchase. Well, you will get a brief overview of some of the key points to consider, and it might help you decide what you want to do. Maybe you've already been looking online, or you're looking to book a trip later in the year. Well, you'll get some really useful tips on mistakes to avoid. You might even be in a situation where you've done visits and you're thinking about making an offer. If that's you, then you'll hear a key insider tip that might save you some money. Whatever stage you're at, you're going to learn some of the basics about how the French property market works, differences to the US market, with lots of hints and tips on how you can best navigate it. Then I'm also going to talk a little bit about a paid course we have, which is all about optimizing your search for a property in France and giving you lots of tips, insider knowledge and best practice. I've got my own lawyer, I don't need a French notaire. So this is one where you can waste your own time and money. Why do I say that? Well, let's find out. We've worked with the US buyers who are used to dealing with their own advisors and the way that they have done things for years in the US. You might also currently be thinking that. I've had a buyer before engage their US-based lawyer and tell me, don't worry, they speak French, so I don't need to use this French notaire that you've suggested. Just send everything to them. Oh, and by the way, their fee was much cheaper than what you estimated the French notaire was going to charge. Where do I begin with this? So a French notary or notaire has much stronger powers and a much larger role than an American notary. In France, a property purchase cannot legally happen without at least one French notaire being involved. They're state-appointed officials required by law for all property transactions. They verify title, handle funds, register deeds, and ensure tax compliance. These are functions that cannot be performed by a foreign attorney or lawyer or by a French lawyer. The fees that French notaires collect are always to be covered by the buyer, and they not only cover the cost of all the legal checks and contracts and paperwork, but they also cover the relevant government taxes that are collected as part of the property purchase process in France. Okay, so now you know that you have to use a French notaire and a little about what they do. You can appoint your own rather than using the seller's. It's entirely your choice at no extra fee. If there are two notaires working on a property transaction, they just share the fee. Notaires have a legal obligation and professional duty of care to provide advice on all aspects of the property purchase, including inheritance and including all the relevant clauses that you might need to include for your specific circumstances. We've also seen a similar thing, for instance, with people saying, oh, my brother or my sister is a real estate agent in the US, so I should only need to pay half the French agent's fee. Well, no, it doesn't work like that at all. It's a totally different market. Lots of knowledge you've built up over the years as an experienced US buyer can be very useful to you still. But lots of things are just so different, unless you learn about those differences, it's easy to make a mistake. Now you know a little bit about the role of notaires. Their fees can vary between about 7% to 11% on a transaction, and this can depend on the location of the property and which French department that's in. Uh, that fee is on top of the list price that you see in any advertisement. If you would like to see the 6 other case studies and mistakes not to make, don't miss out. You can sign up and watch it for free here.